Okay, so now we have a way to send messages between people in the same apartment complex, but what I'd really want is to be able to send messages to people in a different apartment complex. So the next building block we're going to need to do that is a post office. So you can imagine there's a post office now, and this post office serves both my apartment complex and your apartment complex. So now if I want to send a message to you and you live in a different apartment complex, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my message using the same system of movement that I came up with earlier, so ponies or pigeons or whatever, using the system. Instead of sending this message to someone within my apartment complex, I'm going to send it to the post office that serves my apartment complex. And this post office is going to process whatever message I sent it, and it's going to send this message to the other apartment complex, which it also serves. So now this post office is going to send a message forward to you. And because this post office is connected to both my apartment complex and your apartment complex, we can use the system we had before where I use my pigeon or my horse to send the message to the post office. The post office sends the message to you in the other apartment complex. And now I have a way to connect two apartment complexes. So now I can talk to people in another apartment complex, which is pretty cool. And so what does this look like in the real networking analogy? It would be a wide area network. And so now Dave is going to walk you through what that looks like in real life.
All right, so that's a local area network, a small thing, but you can't have one wire that connects all 5 billion people in the world, that all 5 billion people in the world are connected to. That doesn't scale very well. So if we want to build an internet, then we need to connect up multiple of these local area networks. In fact, even if you just want to have a place like Berkeley, you got to connect up multiple of these local area networks. So let's talk next about how you connect up local area networks. Suppose I've got one local area network that A is on, and there's another local area network, and I want to send a message from A on the top network, send it to some machine on the bottom network. How do we do that? Like we want to send a message from A to C here, and now they're on two different local area networks. How do we do that? Yeah. Yeah, send to a server, and the server sends to C. And what network does that server need to be on? Both of them. Yeah, I heard someone say both. You're right, on both. Okay? So we call that server a router. The router is connected to both networks. And the way that we do this is that A sends a message to the router saying, can you pass this on? Can you forward this for me? Okay? And then, so that A sends that on its shared network, on the top network, and the router will receive it. So you see there's a packet format with the source of A and the destination of R the router. And there's some data in there. And the router knows how to interpret that data, and it sees that data, and it sees the data is, something to be forwarded onto C. And the router will then figure out, to get it to C, you have to send something on this network, on the bottom network. And so the router is going to do that by sending a new message on the bottom network whose destination is C, that's from the router. And the message itself is just bits. So the message itself could be bits that have their own structure. It could be a packet in some other format. So we're going to see that. Okay. So this is to give you some idea of how this might look.